Issue 200. We start out with Eggman having generic villain ranting to Sonic, angrily reminding him about all of his victories, while Sonic doesn't take him seriously at all. So far, this is going exactly like the games Eggman always acts, although it's deconstructed here, as you'll see. Sonic then taunts him, dodging all of his mecha's attacks while telling him all of the Freedom Fighters' major victories. Wait, Mobotropolis was only taken back by Eggman for a month? It felt like more than that to me. And he says the slag from it is what powers the Nanite City. What slag? Does it mean the radiation from the nuke that nuked Robotropolis is what powered Nicole and her Nanite City? That does make sense. I'd like that actually being used as a concept finally, instead of just having a city full of radiation not be taken advantage of. But they could have made that much more clear earlier that that was her power source. And not to mention, how did she clean the place up so that if they're living in the old Robotropolis, then, well, I don't think that's the case. I think the nanites just made a city, and Robotropolis was, if it was where they got their power, then where did it go? Why isn't it clearly visible near the, that doesn't make any sense. Eggman tells him to shut up again, immaturely. Sonic then tells Eggman that the United Federation alone has at least 6 city-states in it that Eggman doesn't control. 6 cities, big whoop. Sonic tells Eggman that he can't really claim to control the planet when he's fighting for it every waking hour. Well, he's still running most of the civilians' lives, right? Isn't that what really counts, country-wise? We still haven't really seen what living as a civilian under Eggman is like, aside from there being a curfew for the Overlanders in Robotropolis. Ooh, a curfew! Then, for some reason, Sonic is actually intimidated by Eggman getting a little more angry and ranty than usual at him, when before this, he wasn't taking him seriously at all. Eggman's mecha starts spinning around as he says that Sonic can only beat the averages so long before they beat him. So he says this at this point. Remember that, because him coming to this conclusion, gambler's fallacy style, is supposed to be a pretty big deal much later on. Sonic keeps attacking the mecha, having fun the whole time, as Eggman desperately tries to tell him like a control freak to stop and do what he wants already, because he says so. After Eggman gets sent out of the mecha, Sonic says looking relieved, "That was cathartic," and brags to him. Then Eggman screams, and I guess his sunglasses vanished into the ether, because now he has the black and red eyes that the dark and edgy Sad AM Robotnik design had. As he screams and lies on the ground, even Sonic is disturbed by this and feels sorry for him. Did I mention that I love this concept? It's about time, and everything was building up to this moment. After Eggman takes a swing at him and falls to the floor still ranting, Sally comes in, with stress lines looking worried, and says that they just pulled the doors apart and the Dark Egg Legion fell back a few minutes after Sonic ran ahead. Snively then comes in and tells Sonic that he didn't just beat him, he broke him. And he pretends to have all the sympathy for the worst boss he's ever had, which really shouldn't be bought by them so easily since he killed Robotnik. Then Snively tells everyone to leave him to take care of Eggman, saying that they won, and the other heroes all come in all happy with only Sonic still feeling inexplicable pity for him. As with Sally having tears of joy, Nicole says that everyone back home is dancing in the streets. I guess they found Eggman's breakdown hilarious, or maybe they didn't actually get to see it. Sonic telling Amy and Tails how he won with vague details, then puts on a typical bravado hiding his true feelings, as after Amy actually notices he's upset, Sonic immediately acts happy and shrugs and lies that he's just tired, and they buy it right away. You'd think that they would know him better. I guess not. Sally tells everyone to help Rotor pack up, and then she asks Sonic if he's going to be okay, because, well, she actually did witness Eggman doing that. He says sadly that he wasn't expecting this to happen, and asks what happens now, and Sally simply reassures him that fulfilling his duty moving on is good too. We then cut to Snively reassuring Eggman as he's in a straitjacket in a padded cell, and Snively says, "And don't you worry about your little empire. I found just the person to handle things, and we'll be very happy ruling it together." So that's why he doesn't just kill him. He wants to keep him alive out of sadism. However, him ruling the Empire as a big bad finally really drives home the question of how stupid was it of Sally to not arrest Snively? Did she really not think that he would replace Eggman as the leader of the world? Didn't he do that at one point and nearly destroyed the world? What's the point of taking down Eggman if he's just going to be replaced in the same position anyways? Don't they realize that? Once they took down Robotnik, Sally stormed in, took back the city for herself, and moved her people in. And Snively was imprisoned. Here, the heroes all grab the idiot ball and forget that Snively wants power. Didn't they put Snively in prison the last time they took down Robotnik? Are they really that distracted by Eggman being like this? They just grab the idiot ball so that we can have the next story arc. Same reason nobody thought to just execute Eggman. The story ends with Snively introducing the Dark Egg Legion to their new masters epically, saying, "Bride of the Four Houses, ruler of the Iron Domain and now the Eggman Empire, the Iron Queen!" I've been looking forward to this, and I like her new design, how she doesn't wear mime makeup over her face anymore. And beside her are some ninjas in a stereotypical Chinese straw hat, which makes sense since she's from the East. So since the whole reason Snively met her was because she was Eggman's sub-boss of the East, suddenly, does that mean the reason she didn't just take down Eggman a long time ago was because she had power anyways? I don't know, it still doesn't seem logical that a dictator like her wouldn't want to get rid of Robotnik when he was turning all her people into robots. He was never really shown to want to make exceptions for anyone, not even sub-bosses, who he roboticized, like Antoine's father. This issue was by Ian Flynn and was about Eggman having a mental breakdown after losing to Sonic one too many times, and Sonic and Sally actually feel sorry for him since they're compassionate enough to be disturbed by this even coming from someone like him. It's a good character moment for them. I guess the reason Eggman loses his sunglasses is for added visual effect to show that he's different now. Unfortunately, it ends on a really sour note as the heroes immediately make their victory almost pointless by not arresting Snively on the spot, which is extremely arbitrary since they thought to do that last time. Of course, by that point, he's already called in the Iron Queen and her army, and she shows up epically in the end, but they could have at least made the heroes not look like total idiots by at least trying to imprison him, even if just so that he could be broken out by the Queen later. The last time, when Robotnik was taken down for good, Snively was imprisoned after the heroes finally took back their city for their people. All things that made the victory feel like an actual victory. Now, none of that's happening, and all Sonic did was trash a mecha of Eggman's and leave, which they thought would be enough to epically take Eggman down, when this exact same thing happens at the end of nearly every Sonic game ever made, and the heroes didn't seem to have any rope or handcuffs to restrain him at the end of it. They didn't know he was going to go crazy, and they weren't going to kill him, so what was their plan if he didn't? He wouldn't have a reason to stop fighting and being a threat just because Sonic beat his mecha inside his base this time. I love the concepts of Snively and the Iron Queen getting together to take over the Empire, and Eggman snapping from Sonic beating him too many times, even if it's a little too dark, but the fact that Sally didn't even think to capture Snively and Eggman is just a glaring idiot ball for both her and Sonic that'll really come back to bite them in the ass. They could have sent them both to the detention center of their city and put the force fields up, but they didn't even do that.